into the action, you can see we've got an updated UI as well, where you can see the vehicle types at the top underneath the team names. Gunrunners are going to be on the red side defending, and Utopia are going to be on the blue side attacking.
As predicted here already, Utopia going towards the 1-2 line. Papapavian going ahead in the RU to spot out. Muka setting up to clip the K-line crossing, but nobody from Gunrunners going to be fighting over there. They're going to be going towards the hill, and now the question is, can they deal with the cap that is coming out of Utopia within an hour and half a minute? Because we know it's coming, it's going to be there. How do Gunrunners approach it? Do they find the angles to reset? Because Shuku, you can see he's holding in the A5 position. Now they're sending Dynamo back as well, and Muka. This creates a crossfire, so the northern side is unavailable. They know the 1-2 line is open. So now the Mouses kind of have a free guide on the cap, and Storm.
Already lots of damage being traded here as Danny actually takes a massive shot in his T49, and we see Kolozoi taking damage in the Batchat 25. Now, the interesting thing here, Daki, is that we were talking about earlier on Bihu being a standard kind of damage dealer for Utopia, and he doesn't actually feature in the lineup here for them.
Yeah, Bihu is not available here for Utopia. Perhaps he is not available, and some small bugs. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Yeah. But yeah, Utopia has the cap started. That is the question here, and it's 18 seconds left, and that's the only thing that matters.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be a fun one to cast, Daki. Let's just look at the team HPs at the stop at the moment, because we can see the Gunrunners HP pool is falling down, but it's going back up at the moment. Ondrax at the moment is charging forward. He's taking a lot of damage. He's hiding behind the building here at the moment. He's currently got 157 health. Now, Storm's taking some damage as well in E100, but not much. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Clown Fiesta, Daki?
I'm not sure what to say about this. There's obviously some minor difficulties. Yeah, the cap has started. Let's just focus on that. Forget about the HP bars who are swinging all over the place. They still have that one going. Papapavian did get reset a little bit, but Utopia should be trading better, hopefully.
I don't know who's actually taking damage. I don't know if it's... I mean, it looks perhaps right on Utopia. I mean, no. Yeah, okay, so Utopia are taking the cap at the moment. We've got the double mouse and Papapawan hiding behind them. Both teams have 7 tanks available to them at the moment. Nobody has gone down yet. Base circle down at 12 seconds. No resets coming in, so Gunrunners are going to have to do something soon. Or actually, there is a reset coming in there onto Maraka.
It's not onto the right tank. They need to reset onto Papapavian, who still has the cap, and it has to be Enrico from the top, probably, or Storm here. But Utopia have everything under control.
So Enrico is sitting up here. You can see from the view of Storm, he's sitting above him. Maraka still siding here. He's like blocking out the tanks. Papapawan gets hit. That's the reset coming in as the shots go back onto him. So, oh, actually, Unji gets the kill on Maraka. So it's a wreckage there in the base circle. And Papapawan's going to have to hide behind him and Rulzik and just pray to God that no one else can get a reset in.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm so distracted. I'm so confused what's going on. But yeah, so far, Gunrunners is holding on pretty well. You can see that they are holding on, and that's all that matters right now. Enrico is still controlling them. Yeah, HP even at this point in time. Well, the cap is still going, and that's the point. No matter, even if these mouses die, then Papapavian will still be safe, and the reset has to come in from above. So I think Utopia still have a decent chance to win this.
Possibly, yes. Kolozoi picking up the kill on Storm in E100, so Utopia have lost their big blockade of armor and HP, but they still have a lot of... No, actually, so it's Gunrunners that had Storm. So that's, yeah, they've lost their block of HP and armor, but we're down to 4 seconds, Daki. Is there going to be a reset, or are they going to make it safe as Will comes round? But too little, too late. And there we have it. Utopia have capped out this match. And as for damage done, who knows?
I'm very confused. we apologize for the technical difficulties. We're not sure.
Yeah, something... I mean, patch day, guys. Come on, it's patch day. Everyone knows patch day is a roll of the dice. And, well, there's sometimes a lot of rolls of the dice here and more of the tanks, but here's an extra one for us today. Hopefully, we can have that fixed for the next round. Otherwise, this is going to be an entertaining evening where God knows who's taking damage and what HP they're on.
They have a new health pack, so, you know, it adds HP.
Oh, the players know. The players know. It's just the system we use for looking at it. It's not.
Yeah, but going back to where we were, we did say Utopia was going to do that. They did exactly what was predicted was going to happen. We were wondering how Gunrunners was going to deal with it. Well, the answer is they didn't.
They got a decent reset off with Enrico onto Papa Pau.
Well,
And they knew they had to hit Papa Pau, and like you
I
said,
think they could still do it, but like they needed one more reset. They needed Enrico or somebody to commit to get it, and they didn't. That's what happened.
okay, so let's have a look at the stats. Top damage there coming out from Colozoid, 3.2k. Then Unji, 3k damage in the TVP. Then Danny, T49. Actually, that's really good from Danny in the T49. Third highest damage there, 2.5.
Must have been something.
Kicking myself actually for not putting him in the team now.
Why? He only has. Oh yeah, yeah. Damn it. Thinking about it, I'm like,
yeah.
I
I'm
got
like
players
Unji,
here.
like that's okay. And I was like, Danny can sometimes like
Wait,
have hot and cold and
wait.
massive problems.
Man, Martin's not here.
Oh, nuts.
No.
No, why'd you do this to us? Every week we pick someone who doesn't play.
Feels bad, man.
This is rubbish. Hopefully all three of us picked him, and then that's not going to be so bad. Enrico 8th, that's good for me. Hopefully your Mojo had Ondrax or Will.
I don't think so.
Storm. I had Storm. No, I didn't have
I
Storm.
really wonder why Bihu must be unavailable. Like there must be a reason why he's not available, real life commitment or such and such.
I'm pretty sure it's not like a tactical
No,
lineup.
because he's always been here, so perhaps unavailable for one match. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna switch sides. Gunrunner is gonna be attacking. Perhaps this is the side where we see them coming out with a few mouses of their own.
Possibly.
Mousian, sorry. I can already see chat like he's saying mouses.
Mouse. Like I said, there is 2 mouse on the battlefield.
Well,
is
300
the way
people,
I said.
around 300 people are going like 999.
Yeah, I'll be like. I mean, we tried this last time, and everyone typed in the correct way to say the plural of mouse in chat, but I still don't know the pronunciation of it when I read it. You know, it doesn't help. And then we tried to ask the Germans in the office, and they just shouted it at us like multiple times, and it didn't quite work. So it was like Mausen, and we were like Mausen, and like 9 Mausen, and it just kind of went back and forth quite a lot. So there is multiple mouse on the battlefield, is what I'm going to stick with, Daki. That's what's going to work for me.
Yeah, there's multiple mouse on the battlefield. Yeah. Now, it's so hard to predict what's going to happen now because of the fact that we're not really sure how the meta is going to evolve. Like, I mean, I'm not sure. The teams are not sure themselves because they have not had a lot of time to adapt to this, to train with this, to evolve to their final form. So let's find out.
Yep, let's have a look here and see the lineups. See if there's any more Mouse or T95s or Type 5 heavies. No.
Nope. So we did say it. We said there was the potential here for teams to just stick to what they know and go with it. And it doesn't seem like either of these teams is like, okay, we're not quite ready yet to bring out the memes or the new meta. So they're going to go with what they know. Gunrunners lineup very reminiscent to what Ding play with that 11113 double batcha TVP. It's good for the hill. You can fight very well. Utopia's lineup double grill, double IS-40, 100. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to set up a grills to crossfire, make sure they kill the zero-line booster if he goes there, and have the crossfire angles all over the map.
Now let's jump into the battle. And Daki, here's an interesting thing. It's Lorraine against M40, M43 again. Will we see Danny try and snipe out Papa Powan like he did with Diplomat before?
Perhaps we will. We will have to find out. You never know. There's always the potential for that. So far, Gunrunners just going to take the hill like we expect them to do. Will going to try and spot the crossing in Utopia, just spreading out and taking the angles. They're boosting the bad shot there onto J9. They're completely leaving 1-2 line open, but they know they have RD, so they don't have to.
Dino actually taking a huge amount of damage here already, Daki. He's down to a one-shot, and that was really almost a massive misplay at the start.
Well, it is a misplay. I mean, he's down to 357 on that grill. It's almost costed him very much. Obviously, don't pay attention to the HP bars right now. It's all fine. Relax. Don't get triggered. But yeah, Stigo is going to take the hill here. They need to do more damage, though, because like the Dynamo doesn't need any HP, because usually the Guerrillas always end up on full HP anyways. He's on 357. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't die. That's the only thing. Yeah, and Rulezik's going to be holding towards that eastern side together with Muka and the IS-4, and it's going to be very hard to deal with for Gunrunners because they don't have that Guerrilla that can blind fire with HE. They have a 113 only, Maybe Danny can get some connections though. He's already moving now towards the 1-2 line, but he doesn't really have an angle on anybody from that. I want to see him move towards the eastern side, towards the 0 line at one point, because tanks don't really sit below the mountain anymore. Well, hill.
Papa Pawin aiming up towards onto the hill. Now, he's not got any shots on anyone at the moment. It's extremely... I mean, it's speculative, but Ondrax is up in that area at the moment, Daki.
Yeah, Ondrax is indeed up in that area. Was that a blind shot? Did Shuku just take a blind shot here? Ondrax did take a connection himself. Ondrax is the only one taking damage so far, and Danny did he?
Danny just got taken out.
No,
Danny
he's
is
alive.
gone.
No,
Is
no,
he
no, no,
alive?
he's alive. He's alive, Ryan. He's alive.
What are you doing to me? Why you do this?
Like I said, Ondrax is the only one to take damage, and Shuku as well. Shuku took
Danny's
that
alive again! He has risen from the grave! Danny's holy smokes, you cannot put this guy down, Daki.
We shall name this day the day Danny returned to us.
The day Danny returned to us. He has
Amongst the
came
living.
back. Danny rolled the stone away. Hallelujah.
But I think Shuku did take a blind shot from Danny, because look at his HP, 605, and a dead
Shoku
driver.
got wrecked. Shoku,
Yeah,
are
that
you
was,
sure?
that was Danny.
Are you sure Shoku's wrecked, Daki?
Yes, I'm like 95% sure, because,
Right.
well,
Okay.
actually, never mind, I'm like 5% sure.
Hey, look, the defender's available, Daki.
Yeah, it is. It's actually really good. Like, it's a good buck for your money. It's a really good tank. Played it a little bit. Well, hashtag sell out, but, you know, it's
wonder-
actually really
hey,
good. It's
hey,
actually really good.
I honestly have no idea, but if that's the tank that's been given away tonight in Quest, then
I don't think it is.
good luck whoever gets that, because that'd be awesome.
I don't think it is. It is?
It is? Whoo!
Ooh.
Wait a minute till I join Quest and chat on my phone here. Now, Storm playing about in the middle area.
So it is. So it is.
Oh.
Honestly, like, it's really good. I
Yeah.
played it. It's like, it reminds me of the IS-3 when playing. It has really good armor. It's generally a really good tank. I mean, yeah. But I'm so confused what's going on in this round.
Right, so let's wind it back here, Daki, and look at how Gunrunners is going to take this one forward. Now, they're grouped up on the left-hand side of the map. They're on the attack. How are they going to break through in this?
How are they going to break through in this? Well, they're going to work with Artie for a little bit. Blind shot coming out to 907 on towards Will. That's a nice connection there from Papa Pavian on towards Will. That's a nice connection there. Obviously, Maraka realized he was getting perma spotted, so Papa Pavian puts the shot there. He's very lucky that he didn't actually get one shot because he is pointing with his behind towards that RT. Lucky for him, he got hit into the tracks. You can see his tracks went yellow. Probably got hit into the tracks, didn't get hit into the armor. You know, if you get hit in the tracks, it doesn't penetrate. It just counts as
Yeah, that's true. It's potentially
one shot.
a one-shot, definitely, yeah.
If he connects onto the engine, it is a one shot.
Now, let's see, Daki. I mean, everything looks cool here at the moment. We're looking at the viewpoint here from Gunrunners. Will has got taken damage. Ondrak has taken damage. Shoku and Dynamo have taken damage.
Yes.
So that's how things currently stand.
Yes.
The rest of the things are, well, Dynamo is dead, apparently. Danny got a kill on him there. So HP bars excluded. The message came up on screen. So he has gone.
Well, we hope. I mean,
He's
yes,
gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He seems dead.
Yes, he looks dead.
But now they're going to take the 1-2 line because they've removed that gorilla. They'll take some damage on the crossing, most likely from Maraka, maybe from Shuku, but they'll get through there. And they can perhaps get Papa Pavian, because obviously, don't forget, you can spot through Rex in the game. So Papa Pavian's not safe behind there. If Ondrax takes like K3, K4, he might be able to spot the M40 out. And if he does that, he might be able to kill him. Maraka is still waiting for a possible connection. But this is good from Gunrunners. I like this step by step, and now perhaps they can relocate Danny towards the eastern side to shoot Maraka. We saw Gohar do that with Zafara at one point. You put the RT on the eastern side, and he can connect onto the IS-4 if he tries to run away.
Yep, well, just hovering about this area on the left-hand side of the map with Ondrax in front of him as Seago and Storm, you can see in the minimap, position himself in the middle area. And they've actually pushed up quite far here onto Utopia Gunrunners and actually taken a good bit of control down that left-hand side of the map, Daki.
Yeah, they have, but look at what Muka did in the meantime as well. He's taking control of that eastern side. They don't want RT to get possibly in that location, but Danny actually got through the 1-2 line for free. That is very risky because
Oh.
now he does have shots on towards the Rulezik. And I think the goal here is to push back the tanks from Utopia, perhaps then go single out the IS-4.
Is the danger here, though, that once Danny connects onto Rulezik, Rulezik will be able to see exactly where Danny is, and he could then get shot at by Papa Powin?
Be hard for Papa Pavian to counter because he's currently hugging the side of that
Yeah, avoiding the shots from Enrico, I suppose.
He's
up on
trying
the
to
hill.
hide as well as he can to not get connected or not to get spotted. So I don't think he's going to be countering Danny at any point. The thing is, though, Papa Pavian needs to kind of peek out to reset. And it's going to be a big thing. I mean, yeah, Muka is still on the eastern side, but that's just an IS-4.
Yeah, he's not actually doing anything at the moment. It looks like he's debating going forward or not. He's actually trying to make a move now, it looks like, from the minimap and carrying on going north. But there's a base cap going on here at base 2 by Saigo.
He could go all the way around and come behind Enrico because currently there's nobody covering that. So if he goes all the way around, pushes onto the hill, he should be able to 1v1 Enrico. Just probably what he's going to go for. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
I'll take one from Storm if he does that, because Storm's now moving over. Storm's spotted, so Storm can't see him here. Storm actually goes over, and Muka now has a safe passage to Enrico.
Storm's going to double cap.
Storm's going in with a double cap now, so it's 2 tanks on the cap circle as Maraka's taking a bit of damage here as well. Papa Powin is loaded, can take a shot if somebody's spotted for him. I mean, he does see Storm. Maraka looks like he actually took a huge amount of damage there, Daki, perhaps from Danny. I mean, Danny's on a reload.
Muka will spot Danny right now and might even kill him, but he has to reset first, and that's the prime factor. Muka comes over, gets the reset, but still, there's only 3 seconds left.
11 seconds left, there is a reset. Muka's going to have to pop over again and shoot somebody else. 7 seconds, what can he do now? There is 3 in the cap circle. They're all going to shoot Muka back. 2 seconds, Muka's going to get another shot in here for another reset. He does, but it's only back down to 4 seconds. He can't reload in time, Daki, to get another reset. And we're going to get 0 on the clock, and it's going to be a reset from each team. Sorry, a base cap from each team. And that's impressive, base 2 caps each side.
I don't know what's happening tonight. This is
It's patch day.
ridiculous,
Hey.
to say the least. But yeah, Danny did a massive amount of damage in this round, I think. At least
No, don't say that.
2K, 2.5K. Yeah, he actually did. And I checked for you, Martin is on Mojo's team as well, so we're okay there. That's department.
We're good at picking. I mean, we're all like, hey guys, we've got the new tactics. We're going to make sure we get 7 players. And then the past 3 weeks, we've been actually playing 6-player teams.
So yeah, good stuff there from Gunrunners. And the thing is, why the capture circle obviously didn't get reset. When you go on there, it splits up the points. Sigo had all of them. I think he had, at that point, 95 capture points. So Muka got the reset on the back, 113. But we knew he just came over, so he didn't have any cap points. He should have instantly reset Sigo, which was the one with the cap. And then Unji very smartly came in between him and the IS-4. That way he shielded him. Muka had no other option than to shoot the TVP and hope somebody else from his team was able to reset. And Papa Pavian didn't really get to do much in this round because Dynamo died and they didn't punish that 1-2 line crossing, so he couldn't really do much.
Yep, but let's have a look and see then, Daki, how much damage did Danny and the rest of his team do in this round, and who came out on top for their teams?
As said, 2.5 for Danny. Good stuff by him there. Actually, Papa Pavian did a nice amount of damage, 2,200. He did more than he actually than I thought he would do. Unji there decently as well. Enrico, yeah. I mean, the damage is not like super, important because it is the cap. The cap of the base is all that matters in reality. So damage, not that much. I want to check how many cap points Sigo actually had because that's an interesting factor. Because like,
The interesting thing for me is I have Unji and Enrico on my team, Daki, so I'm happy with that.
So yeah, Sigo had 84 cap points.
Nice.
That's interesting for the people that are interested. Yeah, obviously there's a lot of people here with 0 damage, including Sigo, but the base was captured.
Yep. It's very unusual that we get teams doing a play on base 2. It's usually quite heavily involved with the mouse, like you're saying, and this is actually 2 different tactics we saw on the base 2 play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the original tactic from Gunrunners was meant for that number 1
didn't
base.
seem that way, yeah.
I somehow doubt that was their tactic. I mean, it didn't seem like that, let's be real. It seemed like they did it after that they got the connection towards Dynamo in the beginning. They knew he was weak. They knew if they killed him that they could do that with Danny probably. And it worked out beautifully for them. They killed Dynamo, and then you don't get punished so heavily for crossing through. Because normally you take an IS-4 shot, you take a Gorilla shot, that's pretty much a dead batchat. And then you just have one batchat there and it's easy for Utopia just to control. Because Dynamo from that position, we have seen Gorilla snipe the top of the turret of those batchats. It's not that difficult. I mean, it did get nerfed a little bit now, the shell travel speed, but on a close map like mine's, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's one of the smaller maps we have in games. It's very easily to get spotted out with the high tiers and stuff of view range. So it's always a fan favourite of mine. Some players don't like it at high tiers, other ones love it. It's very mixed map, mine's one of the older ones we have. In comparison, we have Ghost Town, where we're going to next, and that's one of the newer maps, especially for competitive play. It's the only one designed for competitive play.
Yeah, Ghost Town is an interesting one, but this is the territory of Utopia. Well, every other map I passed, this is territory
Other
of
than
Utopia.
mines, yeah. No YOLO push from...
I want to see what they bring on Ghost Town, though, because I can see mouses, I can see T95s, I can see it happen.
Okay, well, let's have a look and see if you're right, Daki. What do we see in the lineups? We do see a mouse, no T95s yet, and no Type 5 heavies yet.
Out of all the teams, I was expecting Gunrunners to, like, you know, crank up the level of mouse usage, but they're disappointing me, Danny boy. Maybe he's like mouse. It's too common meta now. I will just bring other tanks.
Yeah, I mean, I was really expecting to see Danny on a Type 5 heavy or T95 here. I mean, still potential. Maybe his team's just holding him back and saying, look, mate, we need to try and get points on the board here. We need to try and catch up. See if we can... I mean, they still have the potential to move off the bottom spot, but only if Oops lose, like, pretty much all their matches. They're only 5 points behind Oops right now.
Yeah.
So two losses for Oops and 2 wins for Gunrunners could see that switch about, and Gunrunners could be in the playoffs and Oops could be fighting the relegation spot.
I think what's more likely still, though, I mean, Oops have the individual skill, I think, but it's more likely that Gunrunners might still overtake Isuba if they have bad performances. I mean, Isuba only have hard matches left as well. They have to play against Oops this weekend. It's the 3rd match of Oops, I think the last one on Sunday. So if Isuba lose there and Gunrunners win here, then the point gap gets closed a little bit. If then Isuba lose again, you know, it's not over yet. Any position is still fightable. I mean, the only ones really gone are the top 3. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, in Oops, they still have to play against Ding and Kaznakru in their remaining matches. So let's see how this mouse is going to work for Utopia as we're going to jump into Ghost Town, where everything's all square at the moment.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
And here we go into the action. So Utopia are on the blue side attacking, into Gunrunners on the red side defending. And see how this mouse is going to work. It is Maraka playing in the mouse, formerly of Ding, now with Utopia. And now we see Martan in the lineup as well, Daki. Thanks for pointing it out. Big plus for me, our fantasy teams. But there is an issue. We're going to come back to us and just restart that one. It happens. Sometimes there is whoopsies. And like I said, it is patch day. And if things are ever going to perhaps not be when they should, it is always patch days. They're always highly entertaining. I do remember when I used to work in wargaming, patch days were just the best. Same when I was at Blizzard. Patch days, amazing days.
I love patch day.
Patch day was like all hands on deck, basically.
I love patch day. New stuff, new players. Means easier games for me.
Ah, that's when you go out and you try and master all your vehicles and stuff, yeah?
No, you don't do it after patch. If you want to master new vehicles,
It's a weekly reset.
it's 2 weekly.
That's when, yeah, but it's 2 weekly for the masteries, but most people try and do it after the resets because that's when, yeah, they had a fresh start or whatever. Because not a lot of people had played it effectively.
Yeah,
then
but
for
they
its
have
time.
for masteries they have their own expected value, so I think it
That's
gets
right, yeah.
updated. But depending on what was from the last week, they just set the value. So that's the only thing is there for new tanks. Sometimes it's a little bit too low.
Yeah, it
That's
can
the
be
only thing.
quicker for the
But
new
for
things,
older
yeah.
tanks, when it gets reset, I think they just go back to the value like they looked like 2 weeks ago, and they set the value like that. But this match goes down.
I mean, based on the lineups, who'd you give it to?
I like Utopia's lineup generally. Like, I mean, they have cooldown, they have armor, they have HP.
Yeah, it's a very flexible one. I mean, they're attacking as well, so they can press the fight into
The question
Gunrunners.
is, how is Gunrunners going to reset? Because they don't have that UDES.
They don't have a 50B or the AMX 30. No, they don't actually, do they?
They have a tier 9 bat, and then WZ, I think.
Maybe they're just going to try and engage for the fight.
That's
then.
the thing. It looks like
It
a
looks
fight.
like they're just looking for a
it
brawl,
looks like
yeah.
a fight from the Gunrunners side, but the thing is that Utopia have clips, they have cooldown potential, they also have the armor and the HP to survive. Unless, I mean, honestly, this patch made it really hard for 50Bs because 50Bs are kind of like redundant against Mouse now, because the two of them have just about enough damage between them to to kill somebody. Like, they just have enough damage to pretty much to kill him.
Yeah.
But one shot bounce and 250Bs don't kill one Mouse. You have to like imagine what kind of impact that has. In the past, you would ignore the Mouse because the Mouse was not such a great tank.
Yeah,
it was a block of armor, a block of HP. You're like, kill everything else around it,
it's a bait.
and then we kill the rest. With this patch, it's like,
Kill the Mouse.
you don't kill the Mouse, the Mouse will kill all you.
Yeah.
All of you. Every single one of you. Every 9
yeah.
seconds, he'll be like, ping.
And that's if you're bringing two of them, you've got 6,400 HP. Just saying.
And if you ignore them, they will shred through you quickly.
They'll just tear through it, and they'll block. Like,
it's a really big DPM buff.
They'll block a crap ton of shots. I don't think it will stay that way for too long, to be honest.
I think it will actually, because it's like Mouse is very hard to play still because it's very slow, so you don't really get to
Arty fodder and randoms.
RD fodder. One TDs still don't struggle with it that much. The high pen guns, like the Tanglosaurus, will still shred through it. And then there's the fact as well that RT, and it's very slow, so it takes very long to get to the battle. So because it takes so long to go to the battle, it really never did any damage.
Yeah.
Because it gets to the battle, it has a slow reload. It's not quick, it can't
Yeah.
push anywhere. So it needed to be balanced so when it gets to the fight, it can actually do something.
Rather than just block. Because
yes.
E100 has that. E100, you can block a massive amount, and then you can just go...
Nobody wants to
Do the
just
doom
sit
cannon.
on a position and block damage. So the Mouse now is like, you can get to the damage slowly, but if you're there, you actually have a fighting chance, rather than just angle and sit there and bounce like 10k.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
That's going to be its role.
We're going to see... yeah, I mean, I think, like you said yourself, we're really expecting that we're seeing more of the Mouse this time round, and we're expecting to see, I mean, it being used in different tactics. We've not seen it being used before. We're expecting to see it being used in things like open map pushes, for example. You'd normally never see them and stuff like that. I mean, there is the potential for it being used in Steps and Prokhorovka.
Yeah, we're going to see it be used in Prokhorovka, why not? Perhaps for a pusher of some sorts. It's going to be hard to achieve, but perhaps. I think more looking forward to maps like Himmels and stuff, though.
The city maps,
and
yeah.
Ruinberg, because from Ruinberg, I think you can bring 4 Mouses now and get away with it. I think you can bring 4 Mouse on Himmelsdorf as well and get away with it. I think you can bring 4 Mouse on Mainz and get away with it. And I think you can bring at least 1 on Cliff and also get away with it.
We'll see. We'll see. I still want to see Type 5 heavies.
We'll see in the end of the season. You can quote me on it. We'll have seen a Type 5 heavy under the hill, and we'll have seen 4 Mouse strategies.
God, no. A Type 5 heavy and 4 Mouse on mine.
No. Just a Type 5 under the hill.
Okay, possibly. Let's jump into the first round here on Ghost Town. Everything looks to be okay now. As I said, Utopia on the blue side, they are attacking, and it's Gunrunners on the red side defending. Now, here we go with the push. They're already starting to spread out into the city. Now, Gunrunners taking north area, Daki, and it looks like Utopia are just going in quite hesitating right now. They're not going in fully committed. But, well, no, actually, Utopia are sitting back here, Daki. They're not actually making a push.
Yeah, Utopia just splitting up right now. But they don't have to necessarily push in as well. They see the lineup from Gunrunners, and they can be like, okay, we might push in. Let's cover our angles, see where they're coming from, keep the hold on positions, and then we'll make our move at one point. For now, they've just split up. They're like, okay, Gunrunners did decide not to go aggressive. It's going to be interesting to see what they will use as reset tank. Martin is just here to A4. He's going to destroy the houses on the cap. So maybe Danny and the Tier 9 Batchat will try to play up there, but it's very hard for a Tier 9 Batchat to effectively penetrate that. I mean, he has 6 shots, yes, but he has to reload. Did you just...
No, I missed the microphone, don't worry. I muted it, but I knew it was loud enough to bleed into your microphone, sorry.
I was like, huh? So the question here is how effective will be this Gunrunners hold, because look at it, they have a lot of tanks grouped up and they have nobody in A1. I really think they're in trouble because Utopia can put an IS-7 on the cap, they can put the WZ on the cap, and at any given time they can pull back Shuku or anybody else that is quick enough to drive onto that capture circle and boost it to 3 tanks.
And look at the positioning here as well of Maraka in that road, like he was angled perfectly. Papa Powan taking a huge hit already, 472 as he drives into the cap circle there. It's going to be Rulezek going in first with Papa Powan hiding behind him at the moment, Daki.
Yeah, so far so good for Utopia. They have the first base taken here. There's the cap. It's 2 tanks on at 55 seconds. The thing is, if WZ is behind the IS-7, it makes it very hard to reset him. I mean, there is nobody right now in position to get those resets. Stormin is E100, but the only one. And now Danny and Unji have to catch out Shuku here, but Colosoy joined him.
Yep, we saw Danny taking some shots there. Unji crashing into the back of him. Now Shoku's going to back off and reload. And Colozoid's going to catch Unji right in the face here. Clip coming out, 30B. Unji, good night, goodbye. That's going to be the first kill of the battle here. Unless he misses a shot, which I doubt it, as Colozoid takes down Unji. But now Danny's going to come back into the rear end of Colozoid.
Yeah, they'll trade 1 for 1, but the cap is still the biggest issue here.
Cap now going in 17 seconds. Let's actually listen into Utopia, Daki, because they're about to win this one.
Já dám ještě. Já musím dopředu. Já jdu dopředu. Já jdu dopředu.
Já nabijím
Musíme
ještě
jít
5.
za nima, musíme jít za nima.
Musíte se dostat tu.
Musíme se tam dostat.
Hej.
Já jako mám nabité héčko, no.
Torne, tak zkus pomoct tomu.
Proszę.
Mam reload, Muka.
No ja nie mam pestek, no ja co, nie ucieknę, muszę tutaj jechać. Że mnie tamta nie ubije. Dobra.
WZ?
Nie,
Co ty WZ jadę? Ja WZ jadę.
Jedź za WZ, ubywaj WZ-szku, bo nie środku.
Wyjść o kapu.
Ty masz? Ty masz?
Sekundę,
Kapaj,
To normalne, to
kapa.
normalne.
Dobra, koniec.
Badna.
And there we go. As the match closed out, we got to listen into Gunrunners as a surprise there instead of Utopia. Patch day, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get through this together, don't you worry. Daki, just breathe. Breathe.
I could hear the TeamSpeak come on. I'm like,
That sounds like Czech.
I'm not an expert on languages.
Yeah, we Utopia capped that one out 2-1. Didn't see as much action as we were actually expecting from the mouse there. We're
No.
expecting a big brawl. Didn't really get to see it, but you identified it at the start. You said this looks worrying for Gunrunners. They don't have decap potential.
And they didn't have it. They sacrificed a lot to try and get it, which didn't happen in the end. It was capped out. It was good stuff from Utopia, analyzing the replay. The lineup that came out from Gunrunners, seeing they don't really have a tank, maybe a tier 9 Batcha, but even a tier 9 Batcha would not be a good resetter because it's an autoloader that has to reload. If it doesn't connect the last shot, for example, then by the time he's reloaded again with 2 tanks on there, the cap is already down to 10 seconds, and that's like living life on the edge. But
On a knife edge, yep. Shoku actually coming out top damage here, Daki. That's not something we normally see from Utopia.
yeah, no, but he's the only one really that got to do the damage because Unji and Danny pushed to him. He got a free clip, then Colosoid came and helped him. So Colosoid is there with the damage as well. Yeah, it's not that much to tell Danny.
Danny's doing consistent damage here for his team. I mean, he's usually top or second so far. I mean, it's 3 rounds played. Can he maintain it?
Well, I don't know. Hopefully for you, he doesn't because, you know, you're going to be very, very unhappy with the fact that he's not on your team.
Nope. I have Unji, Martin, and Enrico in my team.
Enrico, has he even been on the first page?
I don't think he's been playing much, no. But hey, I mean, if he gets three matches in, hey Enrico, there you go, buddy. Good to see you propping up that table. It's like whenever Daki picks Annihilator, you know.
It's like my player, the 10 times as well, both our players. Oh.
Yeah. At least he's there. At least he's there. You know, it's something.
It's something.
Something.
Me and Mojo are very happy with our Unji and Martin pick and then 5 guys.
I've
from
got
Oops.
Martin as well. Unji and Martin and 5 from Oops is bold.
Not bold because, you know, some information has been obtained by myself onto who might be playing and who might not be playing.
I did actually message Milan today. It's like, Milan, are you playing?
The difference is I messaged somebody else who could give me more info.
Oh, really?
I can't tell you, obviously, but, you know.
See, they're teaming up against me, guys.
No.
Double teaming.
No, I didn't message with Mojo.
Really? So you're keeping it to yourself?
A little
Wow. Wow. Are you sharing information with Wojtek now? Is that what you're telling me?
bit. No, I saw Wojtek's team. He's not going to do much this week.
Possibly. Wojtek's actually been doing really well. But that's fantasy. Let's stick with the topic here, which is Gunrunners versus Utopia on Ghost Town. We're about to get ready for round number 2. Gunrunners are going to be now on the attack, and it's going to be Utopia on the defense. Do you see these teams going 1 for 1 all night, Daki?
No, I think mine was a Gunrunners map, and they only went 1-1. This might be a 2-0, and I'm still waiting for those mouses. Please, somebody, bring 4 mouse. Make my day. Please, I beg you.
We are...
What's up, Ryan?
Let's do that just now. Don't
Ryan,
look at your screen.
you know what?
Okay, so...
I know exactly what this means. That means that there is 1 or more mouses on one of the teams?
Actually, there's a little bit more than that. So let's have a look at the team lineups, Dacky, because this is a vehicle that I don't like because this just states the obvious what you're going to be trying to do with it.
Crusader SP, but it can work. It can't not. The thing is, why I like the UDES is the fact that the UDES has done a lot of damage as well.
Yeah.
And the MX-30 has done a lot of damage as well. Now the Crusader SP...
The thing about the Crusader
doesn't do
SP
much.
that I don't like is it feels very one-trick pony. And if the team just says, we know how we're going to deal with that, then it's useless, because all it's there for is cap reset.
Yes and no, because this Crusader SP can also reset the middle base. It's not just limited to resetting the northern base. It can also move and reset the base number 2. So if you drive your tanks on base number 2, the Crusader will still get the shots. Capping is not really an option here for Gunrunners, I think, because of the Crusader SP, because you can reset number 1 and number 2. That's the difference between the UDES and the MX-30. That's what Crusader can do.
Okay, so what it can do, but will it do that is the thing, because it only comes with 350 health. I mean, it can reload really quickly. Papa Powan's going to be the man working his magic on it as we can jump into the battle. Again, Gunrunners on the red side attacking into Utopia, blue side defending. Now, Dacky, we have 3 mouse in the battle. Going to be interesting to see how this one goes. I would want to give it automatically to the team that's got 2, which is going to be Gunrunners.
Just look at that HP, man. It's disgusting, really. They have so much more than Utopia because the Crusader obviously has like 800 less than the Tirade would. And the climbing Rolezic to spot. We saw Kazna do this as well. That the Batcha will spot ahead of the Crusader, so they don't really need to commit anybody to A5, A6, or to B6. And Danny already takes one.
Danny doing a little handbrake turn there for style points, but he takes a shot in the face as Rolezic takes a clip into him, or takes a shot into him. He backs off into cover, Crusader SP just misses, and Danny's going to have to back out off that area because base number 1 is hot, and he can't stay around or he's going to go down.
Oh, I wish we saw the Crusader SP point of view there because he didn't have range onto Danny anymore at one point. He was too far away.
Too far away.
He can just about see on towards Enrico, but that's also it. He has 59 shots left though, so you know that there's that he will be able to shoot a lot.
Just as you said, I had it on my screen, and he dropped a shot right in front of Enrico, just out of range. Actually landed in front of him.
Yeah,
you see the crater there.
That's the thing about the Crusader in the FE304 as well, with that very high arc gun. It also makes it so, I mean, it's like almost vertical up. It's insane. If it comes down on towards the engine deck, it's a penetration almost always, even on tier 10s.
Yep.
Except for mouses and such, obviously. But, you know, that's the thing. It doesn't have very big range. And let's see if he can actually penetrate something. That's the
I'm going to try and get Enrico in that corner. No, it's a swing
you
and a
can't
miss.
splash with that Papa Pavian.
It's the swing and a miss. So Enrico's trying to shoot at Maraca as he goes. Now he's going to try and go for one of the 2 mouse here. Nope, he's changing his mind and going to go for one of the AMXs. Right on the edge of his shooting though, and Danny's taking a lot of damage now, Dacky. Is this the time to actually jump into Gunrunners TeamSpeak?
Yeah, but I feel so. I think we should listen in and see how they're approaching this one.
113 vystřelí po mně.
Ty počkej, jdu úplně do prdele.
113 vystřelil. Můžem beč?
Chce to zabít.
Pachat?
Musíte střílet. Třeba hodně střílejte, zkusím střílet. Ale fokus nějak. Musím bez solu. Je tam
Já mám po druhé vole. Já není ten mouse, tak dáš Ondra.
Mě
zapálí. Nemůžeme jako toho mouse střílet.
Zabij tu se třeba.
A tak.
Já ho dám, já na něj koukám.
Hej Marťu, kolik máš?
Dám
rád.
On mi ujíždí. Trekněte ho se 113. Je na treku. Musíš pro ně ho. No, já mám ammo.
Já nenabiju, mě zabije baťák.
Musíš pro
ně. Pade Bčka, Storme.
Aha, ryb.
Já vím 20 ještě.
Nevím, co tak těžko říct, že jdem tady na toho bata, ale druhý bat tam není.
Já mám ammo.
Dobrý, dík.
No, ještě minul.
Well, that didn't quite go as planned for Gunrunners, did it, Dacky?
I think that Crusader SP did a ridiculous... No, I'm just kidding. That push, they tried to come from 2 angles, but they kind of got caught everywhere. They tried to drive through the middle with their 50Bs and such, and didn't really work out for them. They tried to surprise Utopia. It didn't work, and now Ondrax is going to take... Oh, Shuku steals the kill. I really wonder how much the Crusader did. Honestly, I think... I'm going to guess
I'll
like...
be impressed more than 200.
Okay, 250.
250.
Whoever is closer.
No, I'm not doing any more bets. No. The next bet has to be between you and Mojo. I'm done for betting for a while. I'm done for betting
Let's bet
for a
for
while.
fun then.
No, I'm not even going to do it. I'm a
feels
changed
bad,
man, Dacky. I'm a changed man.
man.
I'm not going to bet anymore. And I bet you £10 I'll stick to it. No. So there we have it. Utopia stepping ahead now, 3-1 against Gunrunners. Not much to say really on Ghost Town. Gunrunners were pretty much outplayed in both rounds completely.
Yeah, what else can they say about it? A quick cap from Utopia on the attack, and now here, just setting up the crossfire. Gunrunners drove into the guns, coming from two sides. The batches through the south, which didn't really work for them. The 50B through the middle, which also didn't really work out. You could see how long it took them to kill that mouse, and oh boy. It's going to be interesting to see when there's more of them.
Yes, let's have a look at the stats and see the damage done. Just see exactly where Papa Powin is on this board. Is he on the first page? No. Rulazek, Shoku, Maraka,
I just want to point
Kolozoid,
out how unlikely...
top 4 all coming from Utopia.
Yeah, that's a massive amount of damage there from Rulezek and Shuku, but keep in mind the damage from Utopia is very high here because, one, they don't have a T-Rage, which will do much, and two, there's two mouses with 3.2
Exactly,
HP.
yeah, I was going to say, there's a lot of HP on the board
I
to
want to
trade
point
with.
out how unlikely this is to happen, that Ondrax and Storm have exactly the same amount of damage. That's like 1 in a million.
It's crazy. We've had that once before, I think. We were talked about it and we were amazed by it.
Pavian did 480.
480.
You're lucky you didn't bet.
Yep.
You'd have to wear another
Yep.
bow tie.
I could see it coming. I could feel it coming. I was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it, Ryan. Remember last time in Mojo. So, yeah, I'll be safe. There has to be some kind of bet this week because somebody has to wear a bow tie for the last week. Somebody has to do it. I think it should be between you and Mojo because there's not been a bet between you and Mojo televised yet.
Well, there was one, but he didn't like.
You didn't shake on it. You were
didn't want
talking
to-
about it in the middle of a match.
He didn't want to honor up to the deal, so.
No, you wouldn't do it when you were. It has to be on screen where everyone can see it and then everyone knows it's happening. Tomorrow you and Mojo have to bet on something. There we go.
Tomorrow I'll bet on your place in fantasy.
Oh, that'll be actually an interesting bet. I'm happy with that.
I didn't, Enrico. What did you
Either
do?
way, here's how it works in fantasy. Either we do really well, which means we were trying really hard, or we don't do so well, which means we were feeling generous
Yes,
and we wanted to give it a
I'm
go.
ready for lineups.
Oh God.
I'm so ready.
Daki saw something here. We're going into Cliff. What we're going to see on Cliff, and oh
Yes!
dear God,
I knew it. I knew. I said mouse on cliff is going to happen, and it did. There we go. No surprise that Utopia is now going a little bit. Honestly, we're going to see... There's two things we're going to see more on cliff. It's one, it's a mouse. Two, it's an STRV, because the STRV is probably the most reliable thing to deal with it.
This is the first time we've saw it, so it's a perfect counterpick from Utopia. They
It's
probably
good.
predicted this.
It's good, because the STRV, very high penetration, very high accuracy. It's a tank that reliably can pen a mouse. I mean... It can, on great distance as well, it can just ping through it. So the STRV is a great counter to the mouse. I want to see who's playing the mouse. One, and can he climb the hill? That's two.
That's interesting, yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mucka on the STRV because he's done a huge amount of damage in an S-Tank multiple times. You do sometimes see the switch between saying STRV and S-Tank. For me, it's always been known as the S-Tank. Whereas in game it has the designation of STRV. German players say it very different as well because I was confused and I was playing with two German guys recently who kept calling out the vehicle, but I think they were just calling it the 103B each time or something.
103B?
Yeah.
It's just STRV?
Yeah, but it was a German pronunciation they were using. It was unusual, but it was,
I really
it
want to
was
see
cool.
what the Emil does though here, because like he has to pick either he loads the ammunition where he can penetrate the bat shots with, or heat where he can penetrate the mouse with.
Okay, so let's find out how these new lineups are going to go into effect as we go 3-1 here for Utopia. We're jumping into Cliff.
Cliff, the most dynamic map in the league. Battles on Cliff always turn into desperate double-edged fights. Teams start from the same spots as they do in standard battles. The first base is located near the defender's spawn point, and the second is at the bottom of the hill. Sometimes teams split their forces and send several tanks through the 1-2 line to the left of the small hill, but usually both teams play at the center. The attacking team can send one of the tanks up to the lighthouse or behind it. Fast and quick-firing vehicles are better suited for this map, mainly medium tanks, including tanks equipped with autoloaders.
And right into the start we go here, Daki. Gunrunners on the red side, attacking into Utopia on the blue side, defending. And in the mouse, you were asking for it, so we see that it is Storm who's going to be playing the mouse.
I'm surprised that it's Storm playing the mouse, because you have Danny on the team, but okay.
Danny and his artillery, though.
I mean, but we know Danny doesn't really like to play the M40. Apparently, today is a different day. Storm's going to be going to the lower side, so he's not going to be climbing the hill, which is very, making me very sad.
Storm rushing here up the 1-2 line. Utopia not going to be ready for this as Danny lets fly already with the blind shot and then suddenly realises that Shoku was spotted and is now on a reload.
Wait, I think
No,
he still
didn't
has
shoot.
a shot
He
available.
didn't shoot. I thought he took a blind shot there and he snapped across. Okay.
You can see he can actually splash Shuku a little bit if he gets the angle. Shuku, I don't think he's going to peek again, hopefully. I hope so. I mean, the SRV is very close and towards the middle as well. The thing I was saying about the Emil with Dynamo here in the Emil 2, that he needs to pick. He loses either APCR because of the the flying speed of the shot or the heat. The gun already the shot travel time is like insane, right? It takes a long time, and reheat it's even worse. So he has to pick what he's going to go for. That's going to be interesting as well. But Utopia so far have taken a lot of control because they know the mouse can't really drive into the middle.
Yeah, they've got a really strong push here all the way around the right-hand side of the map as well. But, I mean, Gunrunners are set up to receive this Daki, and Storm's going to take his push through the middle now. And can Papa Pavin get a tracking shot and any damage here?
Nah, I think Storm got spotted out, but Papa Pavin just decided to back off because it is a mouse, and if he gets spotted out, he will be aiming there. So Storm did take that area successful, and now we're going to have to see what Gunrunners' plan with this is.
Shoku getting a shot over into Martin there, so Martin takes the first damage of the battle as Shoku has King of the Hill at the moment, and Martin's having to back off a bit, but he is now unspotted and Shoku doesn't have the shot anymore.
Question is, how are we going to use Storm? Because Storm's going to be very annoying because it's going to take 2 clips from a bad shot to pretty much kill him if they get on towards the side.
Considering every shot pens, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, it's like 1 clip and 3 shots or 4 shots depending on the rolls and such.
I guarantee you right now somebody in chat's going, actually, Daki, it's going to be 6.5 shots based on average damage from the bat chat.
Probably. But Utopia have gone very aggressive here. Rulezik and Maraka need to be careful though, because RT, depending on his position, can land a shot on towards them.
Rulezik and Maraka edging forward here. Unji right below them, so, I mean, they should be proxy spotted here.
Yeah, of course, 60 meters radius.
We
they
don't
are
see
spotted.
that with because we removed the loading animation, which also gives us a spotting thing as well. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Rico taking a bit of damage as he moves across there, and Utopia just chipping at the health here, Daki, of Gunrunners.
That's what they need to do. Most of the HP from Gunrunners is also on the mouse, so the damage they've taken on the batches is very significant. Storm, I really wonder what they're going to be the move with him. I mean, they kind of have to push him across the middle, like just in the open, so the other tanks can just come around and shoot from a different angle. But Utopia's position right now is very good, especially if Dynamo is going to climb on towards where Colossoid is. If he does that, he's going to be reloaded here in a few seconds as well. And Muka can get the crossfire with him. Yeah, Dynamo, you need a little bit more speed there, mate.
Yeah, that's what he can do from... Oh, peekaboo! As Maraka and Rulezik are sitting back there, hiding behind this ledge, down at J5. Now, Storm knows Colossoid is there. He's going to know that Shoku's there, but there's actually a push going around the left-hand side of the map, Daki, here with Enrico and Will.
I'm going to have to see if that actually is going to work out, because they're going to take some damage on the crossing from Colossoid and Shuka and Papa Pavian as well.
Enrico down to less than half health at the moment. He was down to about 700 something there. This display is currently wrong, as Will's taking lots of damage now in his bat chat as he's making a move across behind Enrico, and this is really bad. Wolfman actually collides with Enrico and kills himself. Oh, Will! Oh, not like this. You did not just do that, laddie.
He drove on top of Enrico.
Papa Pavin is just going to just go on top of him, ram him out of the way and clip into him. Enrico, oh well, oh well, oh, not like this.
Oh man!
Thank you,
that's
Will.
physics 101 for you. If you drive on top of somebody, you take damage.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Thank you, Will, for our first highlight of the weekend that we know for sure is going to be in top 5, pretty much.
Thank God APAC had 2 tanks flipping on their top, or
oh man, that's going to take some topping, to be honest. As Unji's going to get the climb here, trying to get shots into Maraka and Rulezik. He's going to try and get the shots into Maraka, and actually goes for Rulezik instead. But Rulezik's going to clip back into him. Maraka's going to come in and get shots into as well, and then Unji is just signing his own death warrant here, Daki.
Possibly, but he has to be careful. I mean, Maraka and Rulezik have to be careful, because RT's still aiming over there. Maraka's just going to come over. That's the RD shot.
Oh! Maraka, like Neo, it's a bad miss there on Unge. You should have rammed him, actually, but now he gets the kill. Unge is now down as well, so Gunrunners have lost their 3 mediums, their 3 main damage dealers here. Actually, 2 of their main damage dealers. They still have Ondrax, but Ondrax doesn't have long to last himself either.
None of them have long to last. The Storm is going to be the last tank very soon standing. And now let's see what happens with this mouse when he's getting beaten up by 5 tanks. 2
bounces already from Shoku's. Colossoid's clipping out into him. Now they can actually get the side-on shots, and it's Dynamo that gets the kills. He has a great angle shooting down on top of it, but Danny and Ondrax left to try and make something of this battle. I don't see it happening, so this looks like quite comfortably it's going to be Utopia 4-1 against Gunrunners here, and they're then going to be on match point.
Yeah, Danny's spotted as well. Rulezik gets the first, we'll finish him off on the second. As now Ondrax is the last one standing, and Utopia had no trouble whatsoever closing out this mouse tactic.
Rulezik just goes over, perhaps with a ram kill at the end, which he does as he drops down on top of him. And there we go. So that was 7 kills for Utopia and 1 for Gunrunners.
There was 6 kills for Utopia.
Well, Will killed himself as well.
Yeah.
Technically, I suppose, yeah. So 6 and 1, yeah.
Gunrunners got 1 kill on themselves,
Yeah,
and then maybe...
Let it slide. Let it slide, please.
Ryan,
nobody saw that.
Ryan, you know if I don't if I let it slide, somebody in chat's gonna be like, Ryan,
it's okay.
Technically, Utopia only killed 6.
It's okay. Production will cut that, and it won't be in the live show. Okay, it'll be absolutely fine. We'll just act like it didn't happen.
You know,
it's what? It's live now. Oh well.
Now I made myself look smart. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's good. You know. You should always look smart, Daki. You shouldn't have to do something to make yourself look smart.
Just smarter.
Smarter, yeah. Smarter. Smarter.
More special.
Smarted. I'm more smarted than I was earlier.
Yes. But yeah, that was probably the highlight of that round. Will driving on top of Enrico.
He took the damage, and then Enrico stopped just like right into the back of him, and then actually lifted up on top of him.
Let's watch this again.
Yeah,
enjoy.
This is actually beautiful to see this as a highlight. So he's taking a huge amount of damage down. He gets one more shot.
He's like not looking. He's like, this is first person, so this is where Will is looking. He's looking behind him. He's like
31 health. Up on top. Grind, dies. Brilliant, Will. Absolutely brilliant. It's like a skateboarder grinding a rail there. And Enrico's probably thinking to himself, dude, what the f was that?
And for Danny's probably on TeamSpeak, how?
Yeah.
And Enrico is like, ask Will.
Don't ask. Don't
Will.
ask. You watch the highlight video next week, Danny. It's surely going to be on it.
Just want to know one thing. Enrico, it was, right?
Enrico, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so Will only did 29 team damage, but that was enough. That was all it took. I mean, they were going to lose the round anyways. They had no positions left. They were pushed off the eastern side. Utopia took that. They took that little hill in the middle, the top hill, the F5 position. And this is going to be the result of picking mouse, by the way. The average damages on Cliff are going to increase significantly because of the extra HP pool available. So Colosoid actually doing 3k here, of which a lot was on towards the mouse as well. So not bad from him. Storm coming in, the mouse, not a surprise, being pretty much the last tank left alive.
Yep.
That was able to do anything. I mean, the Bachelor and the M40 were not really doing much in the end of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. But I mean, first page here has 5 players from Utopia, which means, you know, Will. Oh, well. That's just going to be one you're going to want to forget, mate. Where there's a will, there's a way, but definitely not today.
Wow.
Danny, M40, M43 is only 607. Couldn't really get into the fight much himself. Enrico caught in that flank as well, wasn't able to actually do much either.
Was surprised by what Will did to him, completely traumatized.
Probably traumatized completely. He's like, my God, I just killed Will. And
Will.
The rest of the team are like, Enrico, you
killed Will.
You killed Will. You're like, why? Oh, terrible. Well, at least we can say today has certainly been entertaining so far. Now, match point for Utopia, and the teams are going to switch positions now. So we're going to see Gunrunners go on the attack and Utopia on the defense. Or was that just what we saw?
Ryan, think. I won't call you out today. Just think about it yourself.
Let's have a look at the lineups and see if I am not correct. So, as I said, Gunrunners are on the defense, and Utopia are now attacking.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You forget that quickly?
What?
Exactly. Okay, standard lineups now coming out from both these teams. Gunrunners defending with the M40 Utopia. The T54 Light, I don't know about the T54. I still like more the Rue, I don't know.
Yeah, no mouse this time round.
Every time I think about T54 Lightweight, I get flashback to the finals. where Nexus is like, I think it was Nexus.
Everyone rushing each other.
No. Where Nexus was like on Cliff with Haiba, like, Haiba, can you spot this? And Haiba peeks around and gets hit for like 900.
Haiba's voice going, I'm dead.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. It was like, I'm dead. Because we had voice comms there.
Yes.
And Haiba just drives out in the middle and basically says, I'm dead, guys. Because like no shots had came in then yet. And then right after that, Haiba's gone in an instant.
That's what I get flashbacks to when I see T54 Lightweight. So.
Yeah, I was beautiful that moment. Just Haiba's, like, the resignation in his voice. I'm dead, guys.
Or this is going to be a prolonged fight.
Oh,
Dude, that was
everybody's here.
that was quality, man. That was genuinely quality. If you didn't check that out,
Go see the top EU 5 highlights of the week. And yeah, Kazna
Ding
crew.
versus Kazna crew.
Beautiful.
Brilliant.
Beautiful. Number 2 highlight, number 2. And Combat was number 1. Combat getting wrecked. It's also actually just the kind of slight sadness in Mojo's voice as well, because Combat was in Mojo's fantasy team that week.
Because I made a minute when Mojo's tears all over the place.
Now we are just about to get ready to go into round number 2 of Cliff, where we're going to see Gunrunners on the defense. We're going to see Utopia on the attack. Gunrunners being on the red side, Utopia being on the blue side. And Daki, do you think this one's going to go to Utopia? Do you think they're going to seal the deal now?
I think it's over. I think it's going to be 5-1 for Utopia. Mines was the only map that Gunrunners really had a chance on, but we'll see. Perhaps some Danny one-shots.
Danny one-shots, indeed. That could be absolutely awesome. We have seen T54 now as an object 160 get erased from this map before. But I don't know. I think Utopia are playing quite on form here, even though they don't have their star player Bihu, which you highlighted at the start of the match. And well, mate, it's just not your day, is it?
Doesn't seem like anything's happening for Will here. I mean, he's going to be like... Utopia went very aggressive. They're not going to push towards the 1-2 line in case that the tanks from Gunrunners are there. They are not. They're going to make a fire line. They're not going to find anybody. Danny's aiming on that corner. Thank God they didn't push any further.
Undrax and Mocha are trading shots here. Enrico is actually getting clipped out a little bit in the middle. He's down to roughly about half health, just slightly above that. And that was a bit of an overextension there for him, but it does give his team a lot of information to say where the backchats of Utopia are.
I'm just afraid for these backchats here. If they peek again.
Are you looking at Danny's point of view?
Yeah.
Oh, Colozoid, go forward a bit. Just check. It's safe. You can trust me. Listen to the voice from above.
Oh,
there you go, laddie. Oh, we needed a tracking shot there from Martin. It didn't quite land. Maraka might be the one to take it now. Nope. Come on, someone go.
Somebody needs to make this peak.
Maraka knocked over a tree there as well.
Yeah, but Artie needs to re-aim to get that shot. It's not going to happen. Most likely. You never know. With Danny, you never know. Maraka is not safe. Maraka?
Storm and Enrico here, but no one has vision on him, Daki. That's the thing. Ondrax pulled back. I think it was Martin was the one actually giving him value. He is aiming exactly at where Maraka would be when he saw that tree get knocked down. That's good play from Danny. Knowing what to expect. He just doesn't know exactly which area that Maraka's sitting in.
He's hoping Maraka will peek on the top, but Maraka's playing it very safe. You never know that Danny lets off a blind shot at one point. Who knows? Who knows? So far, doesn't look like it though. So Utopia getting out a lot better in that exchange, just taking some damage on towards Muka and Colosoid and doing a lot towards Enrico, a little bit towards Ondrax, and one shot of damage towards Martin as well.
It's quite interesting. I just saw a climb there from Colozoid and Dynamo, and Colozoid kind of slowed down a bit, which actually killed the momentum for Dynamo, and Dynamo's going to take a bit longer now to climb up behind him.
Well, they have time to do it so far. They know a lot of the positions from Gunrunners. They know at least where 2 bad shots are. They've seen Enrico as well. We're going to probably start climbing. Well, they don't even need to climb the hill anymore because they have Muka and Shuku there, so they know it's pretty safe. They can actually, I mean, the eastern side is very, very open here. Like the complete 9-0 line, Unji's in real trouble if Papa Pavian decides to push down.
And this is a big rotation coming in here from Utopia, Daki. They're sending all their tanks to the right as Maraka actually took a shot there. Now he's getting clipped out by Storm. Maraka's in the open. He goes down. Storm gets the first kill here. And Maraka, well, that was a peak too much, mate.
I'm not sure why Maraka was even peeking at that point. Gotta ask the question, why is he playing aggressive or trying to peek when his entire team is on the other side and gets clipped out for free? Okay, so Gunrunners now even THP, but they have the gun advantage. They might actually pick up this round.
Papa Powan was the one leading the charge, but he stopped as Rulizik and Dynamo come around. Papa Powan taking a blind shot as to where he thinks that Ungi is. Now Muka is up on the hill, he has hill dominance, and you see the rest of the team actually with the backchats just behind Dynamo trying to clip out where they think Ungi will be, but Ungi, he's not in that area, he's actually lower down.
Lower down indeed, perhaps. He's sitting in front of the bush as well, so you know, if they blanch at the bush, he won't get spotted. He's probably counting on one of his teammates to give him early info, but if he gets spotted too early, he's dead.
Yeah, he'll get wrecked from the tanks up on top of the hill that'll be pre-aiming in that area. Papapao in the sacrificial lamb being the one sent forward. Rulesek right behind him as well, and they're not actually spotted as Dynamo takes a speculative shot there. Papapao continues to move up the right-hand side of this map, and Daki, we've seen this before. Sometimes when the team takes dominance on this area, it's really hard to dig them out.
You can see here from the point of view that currently Papapavan and Rulesek were spotted. They saw Dynamo as well, and Papapavan's actually getting clipped.
Papapavan getting clipped out here, and it's Ungi that actually takes the damage and gets it into him. Ungi in return takes about half health, but he's still surviving. 2 more shots come into him. They have that additional angle from the top of the hill as Colozoid and Shoku were going into him, but I mean, Utopia are down 2 tanks here. They've lost a T-54 lightweight, they've lost a Batchat.
Don't forget, with the positions of Rulesek and Dynamo, that Danny at any given moment in time might swing a shot in there. They're not safe, and if they're too focused about fighting and not dodging RD, they're going to die.
Storm's taking a little bit of damage there as he climbed the hills, but now there's no one from Utopia that's able to cover as Martin now takes the lead with Will coming up behind him, and these 3 tanks, Daki, they're going to push the top of the hill.
Yeah, and they have RD support as well, and they should be able to take that very well. This is a good rotation from Gunrunners. They could catch all 3 tanks here.
Shoku got hit in a crossfire there from Enrico and Unge as now Martin comes up, and they're able to clip into Will. See Storm, Martin and Colozo. Actually, Dynamo gets the kill on Martin. This is coming right back around as Utopia are actually turning the fight around here on the hill, but no, it's Gunrunners that take 2 tanks here, and Utopia are left with 3 tanks available, and this, yeah, Daki, looks like Gunrunners are actually clawing this one back.
It's not over yet, because yes, it is 6v3, but these 2 tanks have a lot of HP from Utopia, being Rulesek and Dynamo. If they can make a play, if they can catch out 1 or 2 players here from Gunrunners without losing too much, they can still try and recover, but all Gunrunners has to do now is hold the angles and wait for Utopia to come towards them.
Yep, I mean, on Gunrunners, you have Unge on a 1-shot, you have Storm on a 1-shot. Will would be a 2-shot, Enrico would be a 2-shot, so I could quickly swing the battle back into Utopia's favour because the other tank that's available on Gunrunners is an artillery.
Yeah, but that RT, when they start climbing the hill, he can get that connection as well. I mean, when they get to the top of the hill, he could possibly hit them. Unji now should take back A5, which is exactly what he's doing. When he does that, he'll be able to cover on towards the top of the hill as well, and they're actually not waiting for that.
Ondrax making a commitment here onto Shoku and gets the kill onto Shoku. Now there's only 2 tanks left here of Utopia. Rulesek and Dynamo, they have a mountain to climb here, literally and figuratively, to try and get back into this battle. Ondrax just waiting for a reload, and he's going to want to go down on Rulesek. Now you can see on the other side we have Dynamo facing off against Will. He's actually holding him in that position, and Danny's going to be lining up a shot as well. So yeah, this is not good here for Utopia at all.
Yeah, the thing is, Gunrunners know exactly where they are.
They have all the vision, they have all the positioning, and Rulezek's about to go down here. 1 more shot and he goes down as Enrico picks up the kill for that one. All we have left is Dynamo on full health, pretty much. What's he going to come round and see? He sees Enrico, he wants to get some shots into him, but now he's just slipped out of vision there.
Yeah, there's too many tanks for him to kill all of them anyway, so they can just rush and kill him if they want to. He doesn't have enough shots to kill everybody.
4 shots left here for Dynamo. He got 1 into Enrico. That's the splash in front of him from Danny as the shot's coming overhead now. Ondrax just doing a little bait there, trying not to get himself killed as we see Storm come flying down the hill. Final killing shot comes from Will, and that is Gunrunners bringing it back 4-2. It's something, Gunrunners, but I mean, from what we've seen so far, it's not convincing enough really to be able to properly challenge Utopia here.
There's a little bit of a freebie from Maraka. I mean, if he doesn't, if he, let's say he survives, then they can't just climb the hill. They have to go kill him first. They'll take time. They'll take a lot of time actually to kill him. Relax, Ryan.
I thought you woke up Mojo. I'm sorry. I just heard the bang there, so I got afraid. He doesn't like getting woken up early.
Just kick a few times.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, if Maraka stays alive, they have to go for him first. That takes time. By the time that happens, they're reloaded on top of the hill because now Colozoid did not immediately have shots available. It seemed like, we don't know exactly because of the reloads, but it seemed like not all of them had shots because they were clipping on towards Unji, so they used a lot of their ammunition over there. And Maraka really, that was a freebie. That was genuinely a freebie.
Yeah, I mean, we thought he'd get hit by artillery. Instead, he peeks and he gets hit by the tanks that were up on the hill. So that was a very strange one there. I mean, Storm coming in top damage here, 3.2. Then Enrico, 2.2. Nicely done. Storm getting 2 kills as well. Storm's actually been the consistent damage dealer over and over here for Gunrunners.
Yeah, he's done pretty well.
Round after round, really, he's coming in top.
Maybe this is the point where Utopia starts missing Bihu, you know? Bihu in a bad shot and Maraka more of a heavy tank player. Really more heavy tank player than Batshot player, I think, by far. So perhaps if Bihu was here, he'd be playing instead of Marakar. Yeah, I think it costed them in this one.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Papa Powan was not much of a factor either. 11 shots and only actually did 1 damaging round. Maraka only got 2 shots out and landed one of them before he went down really quickly. Rulazek only getting, what's that, 1 shot? 461. So, yeah, not good at all there. Three players there from Utopia, pretty much non-factors in that battle.
Perhaps Gunrunners can still do it. I mean, it's Prokhorovka that's going to be the next map. That kind of is a 1-1 map in essence, because winning on the defensive side, unless you push the 1-2 line, isn't the hardest thing to do.
Yes,
You didn't get what I did there, Ryan? I was setting you up for a great joke.
Well, I totally missed it there.
I'm like, okay, I'll repeat it again. Prokhorovka, it's kind of a 1-1 map, unless you push the 1-2 line.
And then it's a 2-0 map. No?
Ruined. You've ruined it, Ryan. I'm very disappointed.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna leave you hanging for like the next 10 times for this one.
Ah, don't do that.
I will leave you hanging.
What was I should, unless you're Kazna crew? Is that what I should have said? Hey!
Congratulations, congratulations, Ryan. You've catched on.
Long have we waited.
Now we have been debated.
PogChamp overrated. This
Kappa
is not
outdated.
how it goes. And
No, it goes like long have we waited. Kappa outdated. PogChamp overrated. Now we debated.
okay. Stop
Know
it
your
then.
Twitch memes.
Know my Twitch memes, indeed.
Ryan, I'm actually genuinely disappointed because you kept talking about it. There's even a highlight on our Facebook page about it, and now you don't catch on. Like, hello?
Hello.
Like, what are we gonna do with this?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Story
I'm sorry.
sometimes just doesn't cut it.
I'm sorry. Let's have a look at the lineups here going into our next map, which is Prokhorovka. We just saw Cliff going 1-1 when we thought it was perhaps going to be Utopia taking that one 2-0. And Daki, we've seen these lineups before, haven't we, on Prokhorovka?
T60-280. Something we don't actually... I don't remember the last time we saw a Russian medium on defense. We have seen it on attack, but on defense, a Russian medium, T60-280, it's going to be interesting to see where they put him. They could, for example, put him in the A6 position. He has a strong, sturdy turret. Perhaps over there to hold that, but that's interesting. I want to see what they decide to do with that tank, because it's not just a common pick for Prokhorovka. It really isn't. It's kind of interesting.
Yep, it's a bit of a curveball there from Gunrunners. Perhaps they've got something special here to play against Utopia. Perhaps not. Perhaps it just could be an unusual pick from Gunrunners because, well, we've seen them do that kind of thing before. I7 here on Utopia, well, be no surprise to see Maraka playing that. STRV, I'm no surprise to see Mocha, I guess, playing that one. He does really quite exceptional with it. Papa Powan is likely to be in the RU. I mean, the Utopia lineup here, Daki's quite flexible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very flexible. I mean, yes and no, because Grilla is not the most rotational tank. Once you commit to a side, it can't really get out, and same for the STRV.
Okay, well, let's see how the teams are going to use these vehicles. It is 4-2 Utopia to Gunrunners. Let's jump into Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
Well, here we go. Gunrunners versus Utopia, currently 4-2 in favor of Utopia on the attack core. Committing towards the eastern side. It's going to be interesting to see what they're doing there. What I'm looking for is, where is this Russian medium going? It's Enrico, so just towards the middle. Sometimes you wonder why a team picks the tank, and you're not always 100% sure, because sometimes it's just personal preference.
Yeah.
And now with the T62A, I'm not sure either, because like it doesn't really gain you much over the 113 in the middle. Like, the turret is bannable by the heavy tanks, and I don't know, like later on it's going to be a struggle as well when Utopia takes those positions with Grilla and STRV, I think.
This is hyper aggressive here from Utopia, taking up the right hand side of the map, but Danny's coming all the way around the bottom, Daki, and Utopia could actually be driving himself into a very dangerous place right now.
Look at the damage Martin took. He got spotted and he got wrecked down to 530. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah. He's down to 538 health. I can see it on my screen. Just ignore what's on the screen at the moment. Now, Danny's playing peekaboo here with Muka, and Muka's going to have to get himself in a defensive position and just wait out the crossfire here. He can't move because the minute he tries to turn and run, he's going to get shot at.
Well, they can kill him, I think. Danny can take a further angle even. Don't forget the STRV can't swing the gun left or right, so he needs to move the entire tank. So if Danny can get the tracking shot on him, for example, he's dead. Dead in the water, I think, Muka right now.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts as Ondrax and Unji are not quite aiming at the same area. Danny gets another shot into him, but now Unji's actually aiming at him, so is Ondrax. And Muka, this could be a horrible game for you, laddie, as these bad chats are going to clip you out. One more shot and you're done. Where's it going to come from? It is Ondrax. And already Utopia, I mean, we said we didn't think it could happen, but like you said, Daki, you also said there's still a chance. And right now the advantage is with Gunrunners because they have taken down the tank of Utopia.
Yeah, it was a very quick play. I don't think Utopia was ready for Danny to go down the rails. I don't know even if we don't know if Danny spotted them in the beginning or not. Because if he didn't spot them in the beginning, then they didn't know. And they were just so unaware of it. Muka is dead, guys. Don't pay attention. He's done. He's not in this game anymore. But yeah, the thing is there, Muka on that elevator position kind of evens out the armor as well for the Batchat shooting towards him. He should have even probably... aimed up.
Just died. He got one shot.
He should have aimed up, I think, even. And Utopia is going to respond to this by trying to do a triple cap, but they're one gun down. All Gunrunners has to do is push in.
And they're one gun down, and also Gunrunners are already on top of them, Daki. I mean, Storm taking a massive amount of damage as he peeks there, but the problem is here is that Utopia just don't have the angles protected, and Gunrunners now can just swarm over, come in for the reset. They're going to have a big massive brawl here, Daki. It's all going to come down to individual plays as we see lots of damage coming out. Unji just surviving here. He gets the kill on Rulesdeck. Dynamo actually and Maraka pick up kills themselves, and now actually Utopia might be slightly taking advantage here, but no, they've lost 3 tanks, Daki. This is not something they can come back from.
The trade wasn't that great from Gunrunners. Well, I mean, they lost Unji, they lost Martan for that. Yes, Martan is dead no matter what this says. So, I mean, they had the HP to throw away. They had extra. They had an extra gun as well, so they could push in. They did exactly that. And always at the end of the game, Dynamo and Colossoid were not in the fight. So, you know, especially Dynamo with that Gorilla HP not being shared. If he was there, be a difference. Yeah, he gets Enrico, which is a nice connection there, but it's just not going to be enough.
So Dynamo and Colossoid, only 2 tanks left for Utopia. Utopia were on the attack. They're guaranteed a point whatever they do here, Utopia, but I mean, they're watching this match slowly start to spiral out of control. They were sitting 4-1 up here against Gunrunners. It looks like they're going to be going back to 4-3. And Gunrunners are getting back into this, Daki. Utopia are not looking very strong.
It's not over just yet, as Colossoid got a connection towards Ondrax, but it should be because they have the guns available to them. Dynamo will probably try and even the fight now because he knows where the IS-7 loss was. He knows where the Ondrax loss was as well. If he can kill Storm without receiving too much damage, that makes it in a 2v2. And yes, he can't really make the plays, but he can depend on Colossoid to perhaps do the plays for him. Colossoid, if he spots out the IS-7 here, I think Dynamo should go to A6. Try and find the STRV if he can.
STRV likely to be hiding in a bush somewhere, as Dynamo is getting ready to peek over that rails. As he does, now he's stopped and he's like, I don't know if that's the best idea, Colossoid. Should I just hide in the back and wait for him to come over?
The STRV is already far gone. He's in E3, E4 right now.
Gone.
So
there he is on the map.
I think right now the position from Gunrunners is good. Ondrax will spot anything that comes towards him. Wills will spot the rails and the middle. And the STRV will make sure he's safe.
And then Gunrunners are just going to run this clock down for the next 5 minutes then.
That's all they have to do.
Interesting, interesting. So, Gunrunners, can you do it, lads? Can you bring it back into a tiebreaker? Can you potentially then defeat Utopia in a tiebreaker, which is the best possible scenario? Well, second best possible scenario. Obviously, clean win would be the best scenario. As we see, poor Colossoid getting clipped out here by Ondrax. Ondrax gets a shot back into him, but there is the reload quicker because Ondrax was firing first.
Yep.
And good night, my sweet Prince Colossoid.
Yeah, Colossoid there. He tried to make the play. He thought that all the tanks from Gunrunners had left, but no. Ondrax took a very smart bush where he would spot that out. And obviously, if he got the first shot at that position and that range, he's not allowed to miss. He's not allowed to make that mistake. Well, now we're going to go with a 1v1 with Dynamo. Needs to make up to the damage from that he lost out on Cliff.
Dynamo doing what he can, but it's not going to be good enough. Will is just going to go in for the chase, as we see a shot coming out there from, I guess that was Ondrax or Storm for 400 there. And Dynamo actually flipped himself there, but nope. Oh, I thought for a second Will had missed there, but nope. Dynamo's going to just back off. Will can just roll over and take this, but looks like Ondrax in like a Patriot missile straight into Dynamo, and bam, ram kill, best kill.
This match is like all over the place. Honestly, I'm getting confused.
Matchday, hey.
But yeah, good stuff there from Gunrunners. I don't think Danny got spotted in the beginning. I doubt it. I don't think so.
I think Muka just said, "Oh, I'm not somebody."
I think they were playing. I think what happened there for Utopia is we can obviously not be 100% accurate at this moment in time because we don't know who's spotted and who isn't. But what did it seem like was Utopia went eastern side, which was a blind play. Well, I mean, blind play. They had all their tanks there, so they were ready to take a fight. Danny went over the middle, did not spot anybody. That's what it looked like. Muka was covering them from the back and was like, okay, I'll drive up on the hill and take the position there. You can spot, he can shoot. And Danny surprised him. And Muka was like, I can't go anywhere. I have to sit here, hope they don't kill me, and make it work.
Yeah, because he would have not known how many guns were aiming at him, so up until the last minute, then when he did realise how many guns were aiming at him, he was in completely the wrong place to be. Let's have a look at the damage done in that round. We can see Ondrax was top damage for his team in the back chat, then Dynamo and Colozoid, both from Utopia as well.
Ondrax, that's actually a very, very big amount of damage here for Kurovka. That's hyper carry, like real hyper carry. I mean, on Prokhorovka as well. We don't see it that often. Usually when we see it, it's tanks like STRV and such have been left alone for most of the game. So Ondrax, they're really pulling out the game for his team.
That's insane, actually, yeah. With 3 kills as well on top of it. Poor Muka, as we said, we highlighted him at the start, getting taken out, if nothing in return that he could do. That was the other thing, he had no idea how many guns were aiming at him, so when the shots started coming in, he was in trouble. He was absolutely wrecked for it.
Yeah, that is... Muka couldn't do much, really couldn't do much whatsoever. So yeah, that was over when Muka died, I think, because then they could just push in, which they did. They had the autoloaders, they killed the tanks on the cap, and then there was 2 tanks out of position, which was Dynamo Colozoid. And now this will put us with Gunrunners going on the attack on Prokhorovka and might bring it to tiebreaker, actually.
This is when Gunrunners are likely to pull out some kind of...
I give it to Gunrunners though at this point because
momentum?
They're on the comeback. Yeah, the momentum. They've won the last 2 rounds. Utopia is like mad probably because, god damn it, we didn't see...
yeah, well, they were 4-1, you know?
And now they're going to be like, well, Danny ruined everything.
The problem is as well is that it could be, if it goes to 4-4, then it's another point for Gunrunners, which is more pressure on Oops and Isuba.
Well, Gunrunners, if they take 2 points, if it's just 1 point, it's not that much pressure, but 2 points, a whole different story by itself.
Yep, well, let's see the lineups here and see what the teams are going to bring here on round 2 of Prokhorovka. We're going to see that Gunrunners are now attacking, and it's Utopia on the defense, and double S-tank here, Daki, from Utopia.
I'm not such a great fan of the double S-tank because the S-tank is the tank that is forced in a position and is forced to stay there most of the time because he can't drive at the enemy and kill them. He's forced to just, you know, hold his ground and hope to drive into his guns. If Gunrunners don't do that, if they can find an isolation on one of the sides, because the S-tanks, I don't think they're both going to go 1-2 line. They might put like one on A8 or something like that, or A0 if they can get there. So the question is, how is Gunrunners going to approach this?
And Gunrunners just previously used the T62A, didn't they? So they're going with it again.
Yep, they've gone with it again.
Interesting. So let's see how this one plays out. Gunrunners, as I said, red side they're attacking and Utopia blue side defending. Gunrunners actually starting off in a similar way that Utopia went, but they're not quite doing the full YOLO far way to the east.
I like this from Gunrunners. Arguably, they know that Utopia is going to put one STRV, A6, A7, A8, which is exactly what they're doing now. If they can get a spot on the STRV, if they can get the spot on towards him, then the heavies from the middle and the batches from the eastern side could be very, very annoying towards him. But
Unji taking a hit. Mark of the Devil, El Diablo here for 666, but he's still surviving and doesn't go up in flames. In return, Dynamo actually took a bit of damage back to him. But Daki, what do you see here?
The thing is, what I talked about, these heavy tanks in the middle with Enrico are going to be able to do the damage. I think that STRV, oh, he already got into A8. I think this is trouble for Gunrunners if they're not quick. And there we go, Danny sees them.
Danny sees him, gets a shot into Rulesec while he does that and then backs off. Now, at what point, Daki, could Gunrunners think to themselves, we can put people in the cap here and it's going to be hard for Utopia to come in for reset?
They can't. They can't deal with this A8 position right now with STRV and Batchat. They need to back off and try and retake the 1-2 line where there's already an RU and Batchat from Utopia. So they're going to have to fight. If they want to retake 1-2 line, which is right now the only option for them, they're going to have to fight for it. But the thing is, Utopia is not really in the best position here. I mean, yes, Colosoid should get a clip towards these tanks. He's actually clipping onto Will, which is perfect for the tanks from Utopia, who will, from Gunrunners, who can now retake 1-2 line effectively.
Yep, look at this. Now, Gunrunners actually pulling back into the 1-2 line. Danny might get himself spotted in doing this, but the rest of his tanks are there as well, and there can be a huge push here from Gunrunners that actually is like a reverse sweep. They're coming all the way, rotating all the way back here, and just giving up that east side of the map control as Danny gets to spot Papapao and misses Papapao and connects with him. But look at this, Enrico knows that he's there, and Colozoid was spotted as well by Enrico, and Enrico's going to run in here, get kills, gets the kill on Papapao, and Colozoid actually gets away with his life, but now Utopia actually have lost the first tank.
Arguably, this was a really good trade from Gunrunners, I'd say, because Danny survived for one. And two, now I just don't want to see Gunrunners overcommit on towards this 1-2 line because Utopia will rotate. They know this as well. They should back off. Like, go back and now retake the eastern side because they've pulled Utopia around the map, which is arguably good for them. Enrico is doing exactly that. He's going to be leaving. This is good stuff from Gunrunners. They just need to make sure they don't take too much HP loss on the way out. Now, they need to rotate back towards the eastern side. Utopia's going massively over commitment. This looks almost like a full tilt because they've pulled back everybody towards the 1-2 line because they think Gunrunners is going to commit. Gunrunners is doing exactly the smart thing, which is backing off, going back eastern side, and right now, to me, this is looking like tiebreaker territory.
Yep, this is actually a lovely from Gunrunners. They've completely sold Utopia a dummy. They're using the advantage knowing that the STRVs are going to have to stop, set up, wait, move to somewhere, stop, set up, wait, like, deploy, undeploy each time, and it's time that's wasted from Utopia in doing so.
It's an overcommitment from... Yes, we'll take some damage on the way out, but still fine. Yes, they're down some damage, but they have the eastern side, which is the thing. They're now going to commit on towards that, and Utopia has to find a way to get in there with double STRV, which need to drive over the rails to get their effectiveness to work out. And yes, Gunrunners took damage, but they did the correct thing. Utopia got baited into going back 1-2 line into an overcommitment, and now Gunrunners just has to play it out correctly.
And I was expecting a triple cap, but no, Gunrunners are going all the way up to make sure that area in the top corner is clear. They're going to realise they have real control as well. Maraka's going to push here into Will. Now, there is a tank over his shoulder, so Maraka has to be careful for that. Rulesec is looking to try and get shots onto Will as well. Will takes another one there, 4-3-1. Damage onto the head. He's now down a one shot. He's the anchor on that corner. And Gunrunners have to be careful. They have the positional play advantage here over base 2, but can they make it work? Can they actually do something that forces Utopia into a commit?
They can't throw away the advantage they got now. If Will goes down, that swings the game completely back and towards Utopia as favored. They need 1 or 2 shots of damage. Danny needs to be careful here as well, because he needs to cap at one point. Danny, please don't pull a Will.
Danny just driving in there to Marta and taking 12 damage there that wasn't needed. Now, Gunrunners are holding in this position. They've sent one person into the cap. Dynamo might peek at the moment and try and get a reset eventually, but he can get absolutely wrecked. Now, the S-Tank up on the hill, this is where Muka wanted to be in the previous round. We see Storm in this position, and he can pump out some devastating damage from that area.
Storm just can't get tunnel vision. He needs to keep looking at Dynamo, keep looking at Maraka, punish whichever two of the two is peeking. So if Dynamo peeks, he needs to punish. If Maraka peeks, he needs to punish, and that's exactly what he's going to do, I think.
Shot there into Maraka as Maraka peaked. 396, not the best, but it's still something. It's damage, and he was aiming for that front wheel of Maraka just to try and hold him there. And again, he just instantly switches sides, Daki, like you're saying, across into Dynamo, and then we'll go back into Maraka if he sees him.
That's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to punish whatever peaks, especially because the STB and the I-7 are the only ones that arguably can make those peaks over the rails and get the reset. Now he needs to focus back on towards Dynamo, who's making a peak himself, and this is still good trade. Yes, Gunrunners is down on HP, but if they get the STB down, then there's nobody left who can make that peak.
Now, Dynamo actually got the reset there in there with a shot, but he took damage back himself, and see, it's Gunrunners in control here. Although they are 1,000 HP down, they're making Utopia have to play into them because they've got complete control over base 2, and that means Utopia are not in control. They have to commit. They have to do something to stop the cap resets. They're not dictating the battle anymore.
They have to use tanks to reset, and every time they peak, you know, the Dynamo is the only one that can really do so in a good fashion. I mean, how else are they gonna do it? I mean, they can't. They have to drive over with STRVs and such. Danny, that is a mistake, really.
Mucka getting the kill on Danny. Danny playing about with the rails too much, and this is actually a really nice position from Kolozoi being able to clip out into the sides of the tanks, and he's getting a little free damage farm here. Shoku's now wanting to come up now as well as Dynamo peeks over and gets a shot into Martan, and it looks like Gunrunner's nerve is not actually holding here, Daki, but look at the damage Shoku's now taking as he was peeking on that rails. Maraka takes a truck ton of damage as well, and now he actually goes down, Storm getting the kill. So just when we say it's not going in their favour, it swings back round into their favour.
Maraka is way too slow to use that repair kit, made an unnecessary peek. It took Gunrunners very long to even punish them. They're going over.
They're going over to get a kill on Dynamo here as Martin gets the kill on him. Now Martin, can he get safely back over the rails? He takes one shot, but now he's safe. They have guns on this side. Cap Circle is down to 6 seconds. Who's going to be able to reset it here? Shoku's going to have to do a suicide run. I don't think he's going to do it, and Gunrunners are going to take this 4-4, and Utopia, you just got completely outplayed there by Gunrunners.
Tiebreaker it is. I was correct. Yay! Another one on my belt of correct predictions.
That's 2 on the belt now.
You wish. Yeah, good stuff there from Gunrunners.
That back and forward was lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Like, Utopia really gave it to them in a sense, because like when Papa Pavin and Kolossoid commit down there, they should arguably be ready for a rotation from Gunrunners, because Danny spotted the tanks in A7. They're not going to commit on that side when they see 2 tanks sitting over there.
Yeah.
Maybe if the rotation from Utopia was quicker, if the STRV drives over there as well, I don't think Gunrunners can make that play. If the STRV, I think Rulezike was, if he's with Kolossoid, with Papa Pavin, they can hold off a push. I really think they can just hold it. And then they committed so much. They're like, everybody go back to 1-2 line, even though Gunrunners is not going to continue pushing there for one. Their heavy tank was half HP, which you need to drive down the 1-2 line. We've seen it time and time again now, because those mediums struggle very much with penetrating that STRV. So one of them was enough to hold over there. And then they just gave up the eastern side. And then they peeked on the rails, which was good because they did a ton of damage to GRS, but they kept peeking Shuku that was with the rails there. They did like 1,000, 2,000 damage without taking any in return, but they kept peeking. Then Unji punished. The STRV from Gunrunners punished as well. I think if Utopia backed off at that moment in time, they could have had it. But Marakar there, really, overextension, no clue. And yeah, Enrico, he did top damage here. That's the first time, Ryan.
Yep, it's good to see Enrico up there. Martin coming in 4th, next top damage there for Gunrunners. Then Storm again, we highlighted him earlier on, has been a consistent damage dealer here for Gunrunners. It was Kolozoi actually the one who nearly got caught on that flank, Daki, who's the top damage dealer from Utopia, from only 6 shots though in his back chat. So really, Utopia weren't in this fight much at all if the top damage dealer can only come here with a back chat with 6 shots.
Yeah, and even after that, I mean, they backed off. Well, I mean, the STRVs were far away, and they're like, oh wait, who's going to reset? Dynamo's dead, Marakar's dead.
Yeah. Shoku, run! Shoku, go!
And Shoku's like, I'm reloading.
Yeah, I'm reloading. He's only did 1 shot damage.
Yeah, I think Utopia are now really starting to miss a player like Bihu.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite a tilt actually here from Utopia, because they were 4-1 up, and now it's 4-4. And they could potentially be losing 4 on the trot here.
I give it to
Gunrunners just purely on momentum. I mean, it's Cliff who's going to be the tiebreaker. We saw some unusual picks, we almost saw some standard picks.
And Utopia get to choose the side.
That's true, yeah.
Because they won the quickest on Ghost Town on the attack, so they get to choose the side on Cliff. Arguably, what side you want to pick on Cliff? They'll probably go for the defense because, you know, on defense the time is working in your favor.
Yeah. And
in a tiebreaker, high stress situation, that time going further and further. Utopia defending on Cliff as expected because of the factor that time is on their favor.
Yeah, definitely. They go to the defense side, they can run down the clock.
I think the only map you don't pick defense on is Ghost Town, arguably.
Ghost Town, just
but
take
even
the
then,
them,
you still take defense probably just for the time. I
mean, it's another.
It puts so much pressure. I mean, it's something else knowing that it's the last round no matter what, and then knowing, okay, it's Ghost Town, second round, 3-1 after, okay, it's still doable.
Yeah, and
it's a completely different dynamic.
Here's what we're saying, it was, well, they took a round each on Mines, then on Ghost Town it went both rounds to Utopia, then on Cliff, Utopia then took the first one, so it was 4-1, but then right after that, Gunrunners came in, it took the defensive round as well. Gunrunners just took both rounds here on Prokhorovka, so we're sitting on 4-3, we're going to go into Cliff on the tiebreaker. Now, what were you expecting to see? We saw, you know, expecting the standard 5 back chats to other tanks?
I don't think that Gunrunners is going to play twice with the mouse. I somehow don't see it happen.
Yeah, I don't really. I think this is the time to try and play the tried and tested tactics and just try and
They
make
might
them
go
work
with
for
that
you.
E5. That worked very well for them against Kazna Crew, if you remember, where we had a flying Vetso.
Oh yes, when Vetso jumped off at the end. Yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, his teammate died at the exact same time, but had that
It was
not
over
happened,
anyways.
yeah,
It was over. No
awkward
matter
way
what
to
happened, it was
end.
over.
Yeah.
It was over.
And that was one that everyone expected Kazna Crew to win, and that was Gunrunners that won that one.
So Gunrunners, I give it to them 5-4. I think they might go with one heavy tank again. Artie for sure for Gunrunners. M4043, Danny going to be playing that one probably. We saw him already do some marvelous things on Cliff, so it wouldn't surprise me. And one heavy wouldn't be the biggest surprise.
Yep. Well, let's have a look at the lineups and see which vehicles are going to be brought here to Cliff. The Gunners are going to be attacking, and they're going to go against Utopia on defense. And boy, oh boy, do you have a smile on your face, Daki.
Well, that's the number 3 then, Ryan.
Well done. Well done. We're going to need to get you a bigger belt.
Yeah. They go back to what they know, what worked for them in the last tiebreaker, and it's that E5. So, yeah, like it when I'm right.
It's good. It's good. I'm glad I'm not making any bets for you today. I'd be wearing like 6 bow ties the next time I cast with you.
You'd be casting naked, mate.
Whoa! Easy. Don't put that thought in people's heads right now. Nobody think of me naked. Ah, no, there you go. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, with Utopia going with the 5 matches TVP T49 standard as well. We're going to have to see how both these teams decide to play it, because with that E5, they can go middle, but they can go 1-2 line as well. It's all the question.
I bet your chat's just filled with what face right now.
What face?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some pictures.
Yeah, a couple. Oh, hey, oh. Hopefully not. Yeah, I mean, it's E5. It could work for them. You're going to see Danny on artillery. Let's see if they can do it. Let's go into Cliff where it's all squared. It's 4-4, Gunrunners in Utopia. Okay, Gunrunners have it all to do here, Daki. It's in their favour. They have just taken 3 rounds in a row from Utopia, but Utopia must be hungry for this. I mean, if Utopia lose here, Daki, this is really good, actually, for Oops and Isuba, because they're only 4 points behind Utopia.
Yep, and already interesting factor here. They're doing the climb with 3 batch shots, but Colossoid failed already, so with only 2 batch shots. Lucky for them, Gunrunners not going for that 1-2 line commitment. They're this time sending the E5 towards the middle. I like this because last time I think they send them towards 1-2 line to begin with. So they're taking a different approach here. That's always good. And they have the crossfire. So Utopia need to make sure they don't overcommit here in the middle. But Enrico could be in trouble if they don't know about these batches being there in the 1-2 line.
I was just going to say, Ondrax looks like he's rushing a bit too much there on the hill, and he just actually fails on the difficult bit, just carrying a bit too much speed there and slides down. Papa Palwin, though, getting wrecked as he drives down from the hill, taking 2 shots there. He's now down on a 1 shot, and that was a crazy overextension. He was hungry. It looked like he was trying to dive down and get a shot on someone and totally messed up his positioning.
You could say he messed up. They're doing some damage in return, though, on towards Unji, on towards Storm, but Papa Pavian is dead, and look at Shoku!
Shoku's taking an absolute pummeling as well. He peeked round the corner there, and it looks like the gun line of the Gunrunners there were ready for it. They were expecting it. Shoku's now down onto a 1 shot.
We said it. They need to be careful how they play this middle area, and exactly this is what has got punished them. I don't know what on earth is happening to Utopia right now, but it's not pretty. It's not good whatsoever. This Gunrunners is in the driving seat by far. They just need to make sure not to give up any free HP, and I like this well coming towards Unji. 1-2 line is probably a good counter push for them at one point because they know they have that HP advantage. So I'd say 3 tanks down the 1-2 line to take it over from Utopia. Start pushing them back. I mean, there's Maraka, there's Colossoid there, so there's a little bit of a crossfire, so perhaps that 1-2 line play wouldn't really work out for them, but...
Yeah, I would hold on right now. I mean, it could be that, you know, Cliff and Gunrunners could be a thing if it goes to tiebreaker. You know, if you're saying to somebody, like, what's your plans if it goes to tiebreakers? Or just say, like, we're going to cross our fingers and hope it's not Cliff. Because if Gunrunners do this, that's 2 teams that they've taken on Cliff here on tiebreaker.
I like this actually from Gunrunners. That's the other option as well. They can just start bullying with that E5. They're very, you know, I mean, he got nerfed in the patch, right? The cupola is not that strong anymore. Like
True,
the
true.
APCR from Batcha will still go through it, but that implies that he's standing still, and you can get clean shots on the cupola, which will never happen. He'll be wiggling backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss a few. No matter what happens, you're gonna miss a few. So yes, you can shoot APCR against it, but it can bully itself on the hill. It can bully tanks off of it. And that's going to be the main question here. Can Enrico push the tanks from Utopia off the hill? And once Utopia's tanks are not on there anymore, how are they going to approach it?
I can imagine right now Utopia thinking to themselves, if only we had an RT.
Rulezik is not safe there from Artie, by the way. We've seen splashes come out.
Ondrax can just force.
Ondrax can 1v1 if Rulezik runs. That is Artie.
They've taken damage now. Here's the shot. Rulezik, can he survive? It misses. There's a big delay. It's a little bit of damage. 13 damage, splash damage. And Rulezik is like, I've got to get off the hill, guys. This is not a holdable position. As Enrico takes a shot there from, looks like Colozoid in the back, and Maraka misses his follow-up shot.
Enrico, he's the tank you want that damage to go to. That E5, he doesn't need much. I was so ready for Danny to one-shot Rulezik there, but no cigar. But still, position gained. They have the top of the hill now. That's step 1 completed. Now we need. He's not safe there.
I was going to say he's not safe.
Isn't this where Frollo died?
Frollo's one layer up right now. The shot comes in. Rulezik, this might be good night.
Oof.
Oh, he's going to know as well. He's going to know. Enrico cautiously peeking over the edge here. Now Shoku has backup shots. Enrico taking a blind fire shot there to Shoku. Shoku has to be very lucky there, Daki. Very, very careful. He has to hide behind that rock.
Rulezik is not moving anymore. 19 seconds for RT to come into effect.
Dun, dun,
Rulezik,
dun.
I'm afraid. The 13 seconds, he knows he needs to reposition. Is he going to do it though? I mean, he's still playing over there. If he doesn't get out of proxy range here, he's in trouble. There's 5 seconds left on RT.
That's a dead shot if he has it here. I mean,
If he hits
Rulezik's
this,
moving
he's
back
dead.
and forward. Rulezik's going to...
He's gonna shoot.
He's blind shoots.
Rulezik.
Oh, 905. Danny once again with the punishment on this map. And this is just chipping away at the health of Utopia. And Rulezik, you are not in a good place, mate. Enrico,
He's still not safe.
desperate. He's still not safe. And if Dynamo gets spotted, Dynamo could probably get hit as well.
He needs to drop off of this hill, and that is great for Gunrunners. More positional advantage gained now. Rulezik forced off of that hill. They pretty much have nobody anymore to control the top of that hill. The E5 will have complete dominance of that area. You can even go forwards if you want to, and towards that next dip and play from there on. And now the question is, how is Utopia going to hold this off? Because I do not think they can. I think now Gunrunners can start. Ooh, Maraka.
Nice angle there, but he just slightly lost it. I was going to say the danger is like Shoku's gone all the way back to A5, you can see in the minimap, but as soon as Shoku shoots, he exposes his position and he's one shot.
Honestly, the next step, what I was going to say here for Gunrunners now is 1-2 line. It has to be 1-2 line in my opinion still. They need to group up like 3-4 tanks, I think. Pick 4 bad shots, which is more than enough because they know Utopia has 2 low HP bad shots, which are not going to commit into 1-2. Take them towards the 1-2 line and retake it and keep Enrico on the hill with somebody else. If they want to be safe, they take it with 4 bad shots. But that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to push across the middle with 2 and through the 1-2 line with 2 as well. That's 4 Ryan. That's 4 strikes.
Yep. So there they go. Will and Unji are going along, and Martin and so Ondrax, I guess, are going with them as well. So they're going to push up 4 here. They're going to look for someone to clip out, and they're going to ruin their day. This is Martin and Storm. Man, this is bad for Utopia. But actually, the bat chats are rotating background, Daki. They're going to go for middle.
Fine. This is fine though. From this is fine from Gunrunners. They have now cleared out 1-2 line. They have now taken the information. This is the information game. They'll leave 1 bat shot there, which is fine for crossfire angles. He can push them to D1 later as well. Well, D2 on top still. Colostoid will spot them rotating. He will see them. But now they can go towards the eastern side, for example, and there's not really much Utopia can do against it.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come around all the way around. They're going to stick to the edge of the map, and they're going to shoot up into those 2 tanks from Utopia. Now, actually, I just realised, Daki, there's a substitution here for Utopia. They have Vilki in their team.
They have put out Muka. Or Muka.
Interesting. I wonder if there's been a disconnection or something, because this is the first time Vilki has played all season.
But there we go. This is the commitment from Gunrunners. We'll have to see how it's going to work out for them.
And Utopia are completely oblivious to this. They should have known it's coming. There's Storm and Unji with all the damage potential here. Missed the first one already from Storm into Rulezik, but Rulezik goes down in the blink of an eye as well, gets the kill. Dynamo's going to go down right after him. He's got nowhere to go. He goes down, and Utopia, oh man, this is the beginning of the end.
They weren't even looking there. I mean, Dynamo and Rulezik seemed completely surprised there was a potential here, and now Gunrunners have the HP to just drive at them. guns blazing. It's over. It's done. Gunrunners, what a recovery. 4 rounds in a row, and Wilkie's on fire to make it worse.
Wilkie, oh my god, laddie. That is just not going. Oh, and Danny with the killing blow, the coup de grace from artillery. Shoku still hiding at the back on his one shot. Colozoid and Maraka have full health, but Gunrunners are taking this one in style. They still have so much HP on the board. They still have all 7 of their tanks, and this is an absolute drubbing for Utopia, considering that they were 4-1 up at one point in this match.
Yeah, they have lots to talk about because this was not good. Martin here trading with Maraka, but he can. Some misses coming out from the back lines. Finally, Shuku picks him up, but it doesn't matter. Colozoid is going to go down here as well. They have the cap going on. 5 seconds on that one. What a play from Gunrunners.
Exceptional play here, and Utopia are going to lose this one 4-5. I mean, everyone who took a break, who went away and went, it's okay, Utopia have got this one. They're going to come back and they're going to be like, what just happened? Yes, you really did see that happen. Utopia just blew a 4-1 lead.
Gunrunners left no survivors. Shuku went down there in the last few seconds as well. And what a play. I did say in the beginning of the round they need to be very careful with how they peek in the middle.